to another episode of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs such as Haley Cloud, living raw by grace. What a great name.
Thank you.
What a great name. You have an incredible journey.
Yes.
An incredible journey. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, the short version.
That's fine. This is your show.
Right. 7.5 years ago.
Yes.
I weighed 250 pounds.
Uh-huh.
I was taking 13 medications a day.
Yep.
I was on morphine once a month, and I was going blind.
Wait. You were on morphine once a month.
Yes.
You're taking 13 medications. You weigh 250 pounds.
Yeah, I was falling apart.
It's a wonder that you were still alive. Or you've been kept alive by all these medications.
Well,
presumably.
kind of. You would think so, but the medications led to more medications, led to more medications.
So what happened that you went ahead and transformed? Because you don't look to me like you are out of shape. You look very healthy.
Thank you.
Radiant.
I read a book. The book was all about the raw vegan lifestyle.
Okay.
I was extremely skeptical, very cynical. Thought it was a scam, of course. But by the end of the book that I'd read, I had nothing to lose, and if it could possibly help, I was gonna try it.
What triggered, though, Haley, that transformation? There has to have been something in your life.
Yeah, everyone hits a bottom. Yes.
And I was going to ask you, did you have to go down that hole? Did you reach that trough where you're like, I have to transform. I got to do something, otherwise I'm going to die. Well, what was that? Take us there.
I had by that point I was about 200 pounds. My daughter was getting faster, and I was getting slower. One time I went for a walk around my apartment complex with her, which usually takes about 10 minutes, but halfway through the walk I had a severe asthma attack. I didn't have my inhaler on me because it was just a 10-minute walk. But what would have taken me 5 minutes to get back took me 30 minutes to crawl with my daughter, who was about 1.5 years at that time. And at that point, that was the
Crawl.
anything. Yeah, crawl. I was struggling. So I get back to my apartment, take my inhaler, calm myself down, calm her down, and at that point it was anything. I will try almost anything to help. And about a week later, the book came along. And
you found this book. You found this transformation, this way, and you didn't know that it was going to work.
No.
You just had a resentment?
I read the book, and I'm an all or nothing personality.
Right.
Like I dive right in head first, no matter what happens. But I took 3 days, and I prayed about it, and I fasted, and I read the book again just to make sure. And by the end of 3 days, the Lord has given me the green light. Absolutely go for it. This is the path I laid out for you. Just see where it takes you and trust me. So I did.
And now, and so this transformation, because you went from 250 to
120.
120. During what span? About 10 years?
About 1.5 years.
A year and a half. But now you have been able to keep this for
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Since that happened.
And the weight was like a bonus. That was an additional benefit.
It was the health benefit.
The health, that was absolutely, yes. I was degrading fast. My asthma was getting worse, and it was harder and harder to maintain. My eczema was through the roof. I had allergies that were coming and going, whether it was the season or not. The need for morphine was unnecessary, but it was very much there. The pain was ridiculous. And then my eyes, I was going blind, and I was only 25, so.
And so now through your business, you counsel people, you coach people to live a very healthy lifestyle and to be engaged in, you call it those, the green smoothies?
Yeah,
and the
I love green smoothies.
I love green smoothies and stuff. I'm not a vegetarian. I eat less meat than I used to, but those green smoothies, kale.
Yes, it should help. I don't convert people. I don't tell people how they should or shouldn't eat, ever.
Right.
I simply equip. I've developed recipes that met my needs, so they were really, really healthy, but they were easy. And then I teach people how to make those recipes.
All right, so this is the question. Whose responsibility is it at the end of the day to take care of yourself? Because we know that healthier individuals cost less money at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
For insurance purposes, it makes for a healthier company, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, just the benefits are so obvious, it's ridiculous. But is it a responsibility of our state, local, federal governments to incentivize us or to create, say, vegetable gardens around us, or communities that provide us with enough incentives to eat right? Or is it our responsibility at the end of the day to find the health that we need through people like you?
Well, I think it's absolutely an individual responsibility. When you start including corporations, governments, larger entities, you end up with mob mentalities when needs to be a benefit for the mob instead of for the individual. So all of a sudden there are lobbyists and campaigns, and then there are money changing hands. So instead of it being a personal, I need to take care of me, I need to figure out what works for me, because what works for me may not work for you. That's more of the necessity than having a group of people trying to decide for you what works for you or what you should be doing. But the problem with that is that there's a lot of contradictory information out there. Some people say you should eat meat, you shouldn't eat meat, you should have dairy, you shouldn't have dairy.
And because cup is not good
exactly,
for you.
and because there are so many, it's because we're not all the same person. So what works for me may not work for you. So it's all an individual journey that you have to discover what does work, what works over time, and unfortunately some things do and some things don't. If you have a corporation telling you what you should and shouldn't eat, and what you can and cannot have, that sounds dangerous and scary to me.
I think that the trend, though, is nowadays we find a lot of those urban gardens that are sprawling in our communities. In Boston in particular, they have these just incredible experiments that are producing social results, actually.
Yeah, change.
Social change. And these community gardens are being now put right in the middle of low-income communities.
Large cities, absolutely.
Right.
It's such a benefit. Fruits and vegetables in Arizona are really easy to find.
Right.
But inside of a middle city, the Mid-East, if you're in like Minnesota or if you're in Boston, it's harder to get inexpensive fruits and vegetables, and that is what heals you from the inside out. So those urban gardens are fantastic.
Those urban gardens are fantastic, and unfortunately, there are not enough that are being implemented or put into the lower socio-economic communities that would incentivize people to say, I'm just going to go to my local garden and grab my vegetables, etc., so that I can eat more of that. It's easier for us to go down to Kroger's or Fry's or whatever and just grab a bag of Doritos, which I did the other day to my own chagrin, and open up the bag and.
Well, part of it is also re-education. A lot of people have been brainwashed by the lovely media that there is to believe that advertising slogans are truth. So people will come to me and they say, but milk builds strong bones. And I say, that's a great advertising slogan. That's not truth. So it's just the fact that we believe a certain thing because the only people teaching us are the commercials, is the TV. So getting into those communities and teaching them how to eat properly, how to get more fruits and vegetables into their lifestyle, how to stay away from, the fact that a cheeseburger may be the same price as an apple, but that cheeseburger is going to lead to this and this and this and this and this, and how you can help you and your family eat healthier and how to do it. A lot of people just have no idea. People come to me constantly and say, I want to eat healthier, but I don't know what to do. Do I just grab an apple? That sounds boring every day. I'm like, there's so many more options out there.
And what you do is you provide those options.
I educate.
And you educate. And the fact that we can obtain that education, and you have the book and everything else that you provide, is incredibly beneficial. So what's the secret, though, right? Because I might become a devotee of yours, and I might lose those 20 pounds in the first 60 days or so. But what happens after? I mean, that sustainability, that's what's hard to maintain, right?
Yes, I don't. I
could be the biggest loser for 20 days, and
that's usually what happens with the biggest losers.
Correct.
Is they get it all back.
Correct.
So I think one of the things is that weight loss shouldn't be your main motivation, because
what should be the motivation?
Health. You should feel a certain way. You should be looking for something. Say, I no longer want to wake up every morning and blow my nose for 30 minutes. That's annoying. Or I don't want to get to 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon and be wiped out and be completely unproductive because I'm so tired. There should be goals. Maybe you're on medication and you're like, I don't want to be on this medication anymore. There should be very specific goals, not just, I want to lose 10 pounds, because once you lose the 10 pounds, you go right back to however you live. Versus if you want to change your health, you begin a whole new lifestyle. This is now the new normal. I'm not going to go back to the way I was eating. I'm going to change for the future. And this is the first step that I'm going to take.
Your second biggest reward has to be watching the people that you coach, the people around you, the community that you're creating transform. The first reward must have been your own change.
And it continues to be so.
And it continues to be so.
Absolutely.
How are your kids? They eat right? They say, "Mom, take us to McDonald's." What do you do when they say, "Take me to McDonald's, Mom"?
I have a blended family, so they come and go as they, and so they eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and they've learned to love it. But then they can still have their Papa John's or their Taco Bell or whatever.
So you're advocating balance.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm all against deprivation. So if there's any point that you feel deprived, change. Fix that. I'm all about replacement. Replace this with this. Replace this with this. So instead of saying I can never have pizza again, let me show you how to make it healthy and easy.
You know why I believe, and I'm a convert as to what you're saying right now. It's because just look at you, man. I mean, this is perfect. You look wonderful. You're radiant. You've changed and transformed your lifestyle, if you will, and boom, you show it.
Thanks.
I'm going to feel guilty about what I'm going to have for lunch.
No, I'm not the food police. I don't care enough. You can eat whatever you like.
Fruits and vegetables.
But if you come to me and say, Haley, I'm sick of salads. I could only do so many smoothies. Now what? I'm like, oh, let me show you how to make something really delicious.
And to find that out, we're going to have to bring you back.
Okay. I'd love
Absolutely. We're going to have like a whole show with show and tell and
I would love to make
smoothies
you something.
and
Yeah, you got to eat the food.
Oh, I can see it. I can picture it now.
Good.
We're all being healthy. With that, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I just absolutely love what you do.
Thank you.
Love what you do. We all should be as healthy and as committed as you are. I'm getting there.
All right.
With that, we're out.